Morning, everybody. What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna be going and doing some bass fishing later on this afternoon with my dad. But right now we're gonna go cook up some pig. I don't even know what part of a pig it is. He just told me it's a pork fillet, so I don't even know what part of the pig it comes from. But yeah, we're gonna be cooking that up. So let's get into it. Could someone genuinely tell me what part of the pig that is? Because I have no clue. I might have cooked here. I might have possibly cooked here. Alright, time for a test. Got a big old chunk of pig fillet. It's alright. Let's go fishing now. What'd you say about my bass?
Tiny little bass.
It's probably like 2 pounds. Gonna put him back here in a little deeper little pocket. And he's gone. Where's your tiny little bass at, Dad?
Coming, hold on.
So last time we were out here, the water was lower, so we were probably out there. But somebody got stuck in the mud about knee deep, and then I had to drag him out. Do we think that's gonna happen today?
I'm not the one that lost my shoes.
Yeah, I lost a boot, but he got stuck in the mud. Got one. He's just snagged. All right, so now while my dad keeps trying to catch a bass, he's not gonna. I'm gonna ask him a few questions. All right, so question number 1. What did you want to be when you were a child?
Police officer.
Police officer?
Yes, sir.
Why? Did you know someone who was a police officer or something?
No, I just wanted to help people.
If you could look back on your career or your life, what is your biggest regret?
Not going to the Air Force.
Why didn't you go to the Air Force? Do you want to tell the story?
I had a meeting with a recruiter, and he didn't show up. And that was a sign to me that it wasn't meant to be.
How did you become a father, and what was that experience like for you?
You don't know how he becomes a father? Well,
But I mean, like, was it unplanned? Did it just happen? And what did you feel like when you found out?
it was probably the happiest day of my life with all 3 of my children. And it was just one of those things we weren't really planning, but it's just one of those things in life. It's something that comes along, and like I said, it was one of the happiest things with all 3 of my boys that changed my life, but it was one of the best things that ever happened to me and your mother.
All right. Next question. What is your definition of success?
My definition of success is having a family, having a happy family, and raising a successful family and a happy home and a happy marriage, which I feel that I have. Everything else on top is just icing on the cake. I have a good job and I'm able to provide for my family, and that's just, like I said, it's just icing on top of the cake. But having a healthy, happy family is success.
All right, what is your number one childhood memory that stands out to you? Like when you think back to your childhood, was one thing that you remember?
Just all the good times that I got to spend with my parents and my brothers as we were growing up, and some of the trips we took. We didn't have any like lavish excursions or vacations, but some of the small trips that we took to see family and friends, you know, different places we'd go as a family and got to spend together.
All right, now this one's gonna be, the next couple are gonna be more about fishing. But what was the first experience that you had fishing, and how did you like start learning how to fish?
First time I ever went fishing, I went with a friend of mine and his dad. It was like opening day of trout. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. My dad never really fished. He was more the baseball and football, take you out in the yard kind of dad. He wasn't the outdoorsy kind of dad. But then as I got older, I had uncles and my older brother. We would go fishing with friends of ours, but first time I ever went fishing, I went with a friend of mine and his dad on opening day of trout.
Did you catch anything?
If I remember correctly, because that was probably like 35 years ago, we caught a couple trout each because it was like a kid-friendly pond.
What was your favorite experience or memory from fishing ever? Like the best trip you ever had, or just one memory that you would say was your favorite time fishing?
Probably the first time I was able to take my own kids out fishing. A friend of mine and I took my boys out when they were old enough to experience fishing, and just watching them catch their first fish.
Was
And
that?
the excitement that seeing them catch their first fish.
Was it? Did you take us for trout?
Yeah. Yeah, we went out to Queen Dam and a couple times to the Lake Rowena.
All right. Well, that kind of answers the next question. Oh, here.
One yours.
My dad just caught quite a log here. I think that's the heaviest fish we caught all day. But the last question kind of answered part of the next one. But did you teach your kids how to fish? And if so, what was that like? Was there anything that you learned or anything you were able to teach them in the process?
Yeah, I would say that I taught them how to fish just from what I learned from my brother, who pretty much have taught me how to fish. Because like I said, I never really fished as a kid because my dad was more of the sports, not the outdoor sports, but your traditional sports kind of guy.
As he would say, he never caught anything but a cold.
Yeah, that was his famous quote. He never caught anything but a cold. So I just tried to teach my kids what I know, which is you could fit what I know about fishing in the palm of your hand. So, but yeah, I just tried to teach them what, you know, I knew about fishing, and you know, it just made me happy to spend time with them and go out and teach them what I know or lack of what I knew how to fish. And at the end of the day, it's just spending time with your kids and your family.
All right, outside of fishing, do you think that fishing has helped you learn any like life lessons, or that you've been able to teach anybody anything through fishing?
Fishing is all about patience, and that's the biggest thing you can take away from it, because you got to have patience out here. It's a very relaxing to be out here, and you can't rush. You can't rush it, and if you don't have patience, you're going to get frustrated very easily, because you could come out here for hours and not catch anything, not even get a bite. So if you don't have patience, then I just had one get off. But yeah, definitely.
When they bite on this, you gotta like count like 1, 2 Mississippi and then set the hook.
But yeah, it's all about patience when you're fishing.
Can I tell you a life lesson that I think you taught me through fishing?
Sure.
Are you hung up again? I think you're probably just on a rock there.
Yeah. What did you learn from fishing?
So, one of the first memories that I have from you taking us fishing when we were younger, we were at Lake Rowena, and Andrew caught like 2 bluegill in a row. And I don't think that I had even like caught a fish at that point, and I was getting upset, and I probably hadn't casted my rod for like 30 minutes, and you like said something to me, and I just got like an attitude or something, and I was like mad that I didn't catch any fish. And then you said you're not going to catch any fish if you don't cast your rod into the water. And then on the very next cast I caught a bluegill, and then I wasn't mad anymore. But I feel like that taught me that, you know, if you're not actually trying at something, you're not going to accomplish anything. You have to, like, have perseverance and keep trying if you want to accomplish something. You got a shark on right now. Hold this for a second. Here, I'll get it.
It's a shark.
I don't think you got anything on.
What the fuck was that stuck on?
It was just around a rock.
Oh.
It was just the angle you were at. What is the most challenging thing about being a parent?
That's a good question.
All of it?
Well, different stages of being a parent. When I had my kids when I was young. So when you're younger, you have all the energy in the world to raise your kids, but you don't necessarily have your patience. So when you get older, you have the patience, but your kids are older, so you have, when you were younger, you had all the energy in the world to run around with them. So having your kids young is great, because you have all the energy to, run around with your kids. And I think that my kids would say that, I would hope that they had a great time and a great childhood with me and their mother, running around and being active and everything like that, as the people that are, maybe have older parents that don't necessarily have the energy, but maybe more patience. But yeah, when you're younger and have your kids young, you don't necessarily, you don't have the patience as older people, so that can be a challenge. But as you get older, then,
You have the patience, but not the energy.
yeah, but as as you go and you have, as you are older, though, I'm only 44, and my kids are grown now, so now it's like, not that they're not at home, but it's like now I'm only in my mid-40s, and it's like I've got all this time on my hands and nothing to do with it. So there's challenges all along the way, but I wouldn't change anything for anything. It's, but now I can come out with my kids who enjoy, well, they're not kids, but they're into golfing and fishing and stuff like that, and have the ways and means to get out here and do stuff. Because when you have your kids young too, you don't necessarily have the means, and things can be a struggle because you don't have the job or the financial means to do certain things, as to where now that you're older, you have better job and the resources to do things. So there's challenges at all stages, but again, I wouldn't change anything that we've done or how we raised our family for anything.
Is a two-part question. Who was the most influential person in your life growing up, and what was the most important lesson that your parents taught you growing up?
I would say both my parents were influential on me in their own ways, neither one more than the other. But I just recently lost my dad, and looking back now, just I've learned a lot from him, and I've said it a million times, if I can be half the man and half the father that he was, I will consider myself successful. But I also learned a lot from my mother. You know, like I said, both of them. So, you know, she taught me a lot and he taught me a lot. So I learned from both of them. What was the second part of your question?
What was the most important lesson you learned from your parents growing up, or as an adult?
Family. They both came from different family backgrounds in their own way, but family's the most important thing. And you know, just close family relationships, and telling your family that you love them, and that I've learned along the way when I was younger and as I grew that you never have enough time. So let your family know every day that you love them, because you never know when tomorrow's going to be, you know, not be here, or, you know, when that day is going to be gone. So you just, you know, family's important.
You got one on? Oh yeah. Don't reel in so fast so he doesn't jump. He might spit it. Just nice and slow, and just keep tension on it. Go a little bit faster than that. Like that's a good speed. Where's he at? Oh, did he spit it?
Yep.
Oh.
He was small.
A fish is a fish. That's still
small.
That counts as catching one. But so just cherishing your time with your family while they're here is the most important lesson.
Yep.
So if that's the case, are you glad that I brought you out here to get covered in mud with me?
Absolutely.
All right. Is there any closing thoughts or statements you would like to add to this? For any of the people watching?
No.
All right. Well, thanks for doing the interview with me.
Happy to be here.
Now we gotta get you to actually catch a fish.
I just had one.
One last question for the interview before we end. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good was that pork I made yesterday?
11.
11? I don't even know what part of a pig that's from. It just said pork fillet. That's all I was told, is a pork fillet.
Yeah.
It's not a bear.
It's a bear.
Those are coyotes.
It's a bear.
It's not a bear. There's multiple different sized dog prints. They're coyotes. Look, right there's a bone that they were eating. I don't know. I don't think that's a bone. It's not a leaf. Something. There was a dead bird carcass out here the other day, surrounded by them dog prints. It's not a bear.